Okay, so I'll chant, you can repeat. Oh, Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Ath Dvadashodhyayah Bhakti Yogaha Arjuna Uvacha Evam Satata Yuktaye Bhaktastvam Paryupasate ये चाप्यक्षरमव्यक्तम् तेषां के योगवित्तमाः श्रीभगवानुवाच मय्यावेश्य मनो ये माम् नित्ययुक्ता उपासते श्रद्धया परयोपेताः ते मे युक्ततमा मताः ये त्वक्षरम् अनिर्देश्यम् अव्यक्तं पर्युपासते सर्वत्र गमचिन्त्यं च कूटस्थमचलं ध्रुवम् सन्नियम्येन्द्रियग्रामम् सर्वत्र समबुद्धयः ते प्राप्नुवन्ति मामेव सर्वभूतहिते रताः क्लेशोऽधिकतरस्तेषाम् अव्यक्तासक्तचेतसाम् अव्यक्ता हि गतिर्दुःखम् देहवद्भिरवाप्यते ये तु सर्वाणि कर्माणि मयि सन्न्यस्य मत्पराः अनन्येनैव योगेन मां ध्यायन्त उपासते तेषामहं समुद्धर्ता मृत्युसंसारसागरात् भवामि न चिरात् पार्थ मय्यावेशितचेतसाम् मय्येव मन आदत्स्व मयि बुद्धिं निवेशय निवसिष्यसि मय्येव अथ ऊर्ध्वं न संशयः अथ चित्तं समाधातुं न शक्नोषि मयि स्थिरम् अभ्यासयोगेन ततो मामिच्छाप्तुं धनञ्जय अभ्यासेऽप्यसमर्थोऽसि मत्कर्म परमो भव मदर्थमपि कर्माणि कुर्वन् सिद्धिमवाप्स्यसि अथैतदप्यशक्तोऽसि कर्तुं मद्योगमाश्रितः सर्वकर्मफलत्यागम् ततः कुरु यतात्मवान् श्रेयो हि ज्ञानमभ्यासात् ज्ञानाध्यानं विशिष्यते ध्यानात् कर्मफलत्यागः त्यागात् क्षान्तिरनन्तरम् अद्वेष्टा सर्वभूतानां मैत्रः करुण एव च निर्ममो निरहङ्कारः समदुःखः सुखः क्षमी सन्तुष्टः सततं योगी यतात्मा दृढनिश्चयः मय्यर्पितमनो बुद्धिः यो मद्भक्तः स मे प्रियः यस्मान्नो द्विजते लोको लोकान्नो द्विजते च यः हर्षामर्षभयोद्वेगैः मुक्तो यः स च मे प्रियः अनपेक्षः शुचिर्दक्षः उदासीनो गतव्यतः सर्वारम्भपरित्यागी यो मद्भक्तः स मे प्रियः यो न हर्षति न द्वेष्टि न शोचति न काङ्क्षति शुभाशुभपरित्यागी भक्तिमान् यः स मे प्रियः समशत्रौ च मित्रे च तथा मानापमानयोः शीतोष्णसुखदुःखेषु समसङ्गविवर्जितः तुल्यनिन्दास्तुतिर्मौनी सन्तुष्टो येन केनचित् अनिकेतस्थिरमतिः भक्तिमान् मे प्रियो नरः ये तु धर्म्यामृतमिदम् यथोक्तं पर्युपासते श्रद्धधानामत्परमा भक्तास्तेतीव मे प्रियाः हरिः ओम तत्सत् इति श्रीमद्भगवद्गीतासु उपनिषत्सु ब्रह्मविद्यायां योगशास्त्रे श्रीकृष्णार्जुनसंवादे भक्तियोगो नाम द्वादशोऽध्यायः. Good. So we have been seeing the 12th chapter, Bhakti Yoga, and Arjuna asks a question: can one be spiritual but not religious? And of course, there is one interpretation of the question. It can also be asked as is which is better, Bhakti Yoga or Jnana Yoga? Which is better, worshipping God with form or without form? Which is better, worshipping God as a person or as impersonal? Like this, so many questions can be interpreted. Like that question of Arjuna, the shloka can be interpreted in so many ways. And Krishna gives a very beautiful answer. He says, yes, it is possible to be spiritual but not religious, but it is very, very difficult because it has got a lot of prerequisites, and those prerequisites are difficult to follow for a person who is very much attached to the body. But a religious life does not reach its culmination without being spiritual. So you have to be spiritual, but to be spiritual, it is better to start with being religious and then get to spiritual life. So start being spiritual and mature into start being religious and then mature to into spirituality. That is the better approach. And how to do that, Krishna told in this shloka: Etu sarvani karmani mayi sanyasya matparaha ananyenaiva yogena mam dhyayanta upasate. Right? So he says, like, let's go to this. This will be easier. Yeah. So he says, like, through do all your actions as offering to the Lord, and by that you will get over the world dependence for security, and meditate upon the Lord. By that you will get over the world dependence for pleasure. And if you do it this way, the Lord says, I will take care of the rest of it. Right? So, etu sarvani karmani mayi sanyasya matparaha ananyenaiva yogena mamdhyayanta upasate tesham aham samudharta mrityu samsara sagarat bhavamina chirat partha mayi aveshita chetasam. So, this mayi aveshita chetasam is the key I told you. And how to get there is by these two. Now, this shlokas we have seen, so we will continue from here. Now, on the whole path, in the 7th chapter, Krishna says there are 3 stages on the spiritual progress: Artha and Artharthi, first stage, then Jignasu, second stage, Jnani, third stage. And as you progress in spiritual life, your view towards the world view, like towards Jiva Jagat Ishvara, will change. Your attitude towards work will change, and your attitude towards worship will change. So as you progress, so initially Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara, you will consider them as separate. And because Jagat is separate from Ishvara, you work in the world, and Ishvara is the karma phala data, right? And you offer the fruits of action to the Lord in gratitude, right? So Ishvara Prasada Buddhi is the first you start with. And you worship the Lord to free yourself from afflictions and to get desirable things. It is not wrong to, because this is where it starts. But then as you proceed further, as you evolve, as you progress in spiritual life, you will see that the world is nothing but a manifestation of Ishvara. Jagat and Ishvara, right? So are the same, and Jiva and Ishvara are separate. So Jagat merges into Ishvara. So now there are only 2 entities, Jiva and Ishvara. And knowing the world as a manifestation of the Lord, you offer the work itself to the Lord, right? The work itself is an offering to the Lord because the Lord is manifesting as the world. So everything that you do in the world is nothing but a transaction with the Lord Himself. And at this stage, your worship will be to for knowledge and strength to calmly face all the ups and downs of life. Because all the ups and downs of life are the blessings of Ishvara only. So now, if you are not able to accept it, it is because of lack of knowledge and strength. So you will worship the Lord for knowledge and strength to face everything in life. Now, this is the jignasu state of spiritual progress. And going still further, you will realize that even your individual identity is only notional, there is only a mental construct, there is only Ishvara, nothing else exists. That's what we say, Om Tat Sat. Om Tat Sat basically means like God alone exists, right? And knowing that the Lord is everywhere, you offer the doership of work itself to the Lord, right? You say, Oh Lord, it is you who does everything through me. So that is a complete surrender. And at this stage, you there is worship the Lord without expecting anything, knowing oneself as not separate from the Lord, right? So this is the attitude of a jnani. So a person would progress this way, and a person at a higher stage will be able to freely move to the lower stages also. So that is perfectly fine. Now, having understood this, let us see how Gita proceeds. So the previous shloka we saw that the he says etu sarvani karmani mayi sanyasya matparaha, right? So basically karma yoga is covered there, and ananyenaiva yogena mam dhyayanta upasate. So dhyana yoga is covered there. Now rest of the chapter details these two. So the next few shlokas is an elaboration of dhyana yoga. He takes dhyana yoga first, and after that the last uh, 9 shlokas cover, not last 8 shlokas cover this karma yoga. So we will see that. Now, before proceeding to the shlokas of dhyana yoga, let us understand what is dhyana, what is dhyana yoga, what is what is the purpose of dhyana yoga, right? Because Krishna gives it in a very, very condensed form, just 3 or 4 shlokas only, mainly he gives, but then it has to be elaborated. Of course, it is elaborated very well in the 6th chapter. The entire chapter is called Dhyana Yoga, the 6th chapter. And in the 12th chapter, he gives it in a uh, very condensed form. So let us understand this Dhyana Yoga thoroughly, and then we will go to the shlokas. Now, what is meditation? Meditation is continuous flow of related thoughts as a purely mental activity, right? This is the definition for meditation. There are different kinds of meditation. You have lila dhyana, nama japa, right? Or mental parayana, value meditation, expansion meditation, relaxation meditation. There are so many types of meditation. Each one has its own purpose, its own role. Now, but what is common to all kinds of meditation is that it is a continuous flow of related thoughts. Sajatiya pratyaya pravaha, right? So it is continuous flow of related thoughts, and it should be a purely mental activity. Not even movement of lips, not even movement of tongue, right? So basically it should be an absolutely purely mental activity. Then it is called meditation or upasana. Now, if you chant loudly, then it is called parayana. If you do, if you involve even physically, then it is puja. So we will come to that. So, and what is the purpose of meditation? Like what does meditation bring about? So meditation is a link between the conscious and subconscious minds. So it helps us to reprogram the uh, subconscious mind using the conscious mind. Like suppose if we say, I want to change my character, I want to become a more patient person. I'm very impatient now. I'm often I give way to anger. I want to solve my anger problem. So you can use meditation for that, because anger and all these emotional problems are in the subconscious mind. So you need to reprogram the subconscious mind to what you want it to be, right? So that is one of the purposes of meditation. Then meditation gives inner joy, right? You experience real inner joy, right? So, in the sixth chapter, Krishna says, Buddhi grahyam atindriyam, right? So, there is a great joy, right? That the meditator experiences, very, very tangible joy, but which is absolutely not caused by any sense organ, right? But it is tangible, Buddhi grahyam, and it is atindriyam. So, now meditation helps you to experience that joy, and that will convince us that the that happiness does not come from people, objects, and situations. It is entirely internal to us. So that will free us from the dependence on people, objects, and situations, and that will give a more balanced mind, right? So there is this benefit of meditation. And meditation also, by this uh, giving this inner joy, it removes the wrong notion that sense organs are the source of pleasure, right? So there is a wrong notion that sense organs are the source of pleasure, and meditation will give us access to a much greater pleasure, and so it helps us to free us from the sense organs. It helps us to free us from the bondage of sense organs by giving access to an internal pleasure. And of course, that is not the goal. We have to cross over that and also go beyond that. But then the strong pull of the sense organs can be overcome by meditation. And meditation upon God helps us to develop a personal relationship with God. And meditation also quietens the mind to a large extent, that we can see the knowledge within, right? So basically, meditation quietens the mind, it cleans the mind, and by that, the individual, the falsehood of the individual identity, we will be able to see it very clearly, and it will free us from all sorrow. So this way, meditation has these purposes, right? And what is the process of meditation? How do you practice dhyana? So I'll kind of go through in short, right? And if you have not been already, if you don't already have a meditation practice, you can pick the hints from here and you can start a meditation practice. If you already have a meditation practice, you can take this more as an information. So now you have to choose a spiritual practice, and it will take a few years for the spiritual practice to stabilize and start giving the results. So don't keep changing it frequently. So whatever you pick up, at least for 1 or 2 years, you need to follow it. Then you can slowly add more, and you can tune it based on what where you want to go next. But minimum 1 or 2 years or even 3 years it might take for any meditation practice to show it the results. So you have to hold on to it for that long. When we say spiritual practice, what does it mean? It means first is choose a Ishta Devata. So if you have a guru, the guru would have already given you an Ishta Devata. If you don't have a, if you have not yet come across a guru, then till then you can pick up either a deity which you like, or if you have a family deity, you can pick that till you get a guru who will give you an Ishta Devata. And related to the deity whom you have picked up, you pick up a mantra. So if you have a guru, the guru would have given you a mantra or name of God. If you have not yet come across a guru, then you can pick up any mantra which is related to the Ishta Devata that you have picked up. Right? There are so many standard mantras. Om Shri Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, or Om Namah Shivaya. Like this, there are so many standard mantras. You can pick up any of them for constant chanting, right? And you choose a daily procedure for daily puja, chanting, meditation. So these three are essential. Puja, which involves physical activity. So the puja can be, you light a lamp, you first clean the place, or you have a space reserved for doing puja and meditation, and then you clean the place, you clean the pictures of the deities, and then you offer chandan, and then you light a lamp, offer some flowers. So this physical activity is the first step. Then you do some parayana, do some chanting, loud chanting. You can chant some stotras, you can chant some chapter of the Gita, or you can chant some selected shlokas, or you can sing some bhajans, or you can chant the some of the mantras. You are allowed to chant loudly. So those mantras like Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, or like whatever standard mantras, standard slokas, you can chant loudly, right? So that loud chanting is the second step, and after that, you you close your eyes and you be quiet, and you go into the meditation procedure, right? And that procedure we will see what it is next. Now this is these three is basically this called the spiritual practice. So you have a ishta devata, you have a mantra, and you have a procedure. Now this is the formal puja which you do at least once or twice a day, right? But then if you it is not that you can kind of lead any kind of life throughout the day and then sit for meditation, sit for this spiritual practice, and it will become beneficial or your mind will settle down. You cannot expect. So if let us say this one takes half an hour in the morning, half an hour in the evening, so the rest of the 23 hours you have to lead a meditation conducive lifestyle, so that this 1 hour of meditation you are able to do in a beneficial way, in an effective way. So it is not just a 1 hour activity every day, it is a day long activity. So you need to link everyday activities with remembrance of Lord. That is what the Krishna called as Mayi Aveshita Chetasam, right? Like a mind which is totally soaked in the Lord. Now, how do you do that? So when you wake up, even the moment you know that you are awake, even before opening your eyes, even before getting out of bed, start chanting the name or mantra, right? So the the moment you wake up, start chanting, and then only you get out of bed. Okay. So this is the first. This is where you start. And then before breakfast, you do your daily puja chanting meditation. So don't have breakfast without doing your daily morning spiritual practice, right? And even during the day, breakfast, lunch, tiffin, dinner, whatever, before anything enters your mouth, you offer it to the Lord and eat only as prasada, right? So there is a strong psychological link between food and our emotions and our relationships. That is why they say a family that eats together stays together. And often when you want to strike a deep emotional human relationship, you meet over dinner, you have food together. Like it's basically food is something which has a deep psychological significance. That is why, like, even when you are offering to the Lord, you offer prasad, you offer food, you offer fruits, you offer sweets, because offering fruits and sweets, edible food, to someone, right, creates a deep psychological bondage with that entity, right? So even if you buy 50 rupees worth of fruits and or sweets and offer to the Lord, that creates a deeper psychological link between the Lord, than even putting 500 rupees note into the donation box, right? The 500 rupee note doesn't, yes, it is more valuable monetarily, but then the emotional bondage that the 500 rupee note when you offer to the Lord is less than the emotional bondage that is created by even a 50 rupee fruits or sweets, because that is how the psychology is designed, right? Our mind, our brain right? It understands food much better than paper money. So offer the paper money also, but then offer food also. So offering fruits and sweets and to the Lord creates a deep psychological bondage with the Lord. And so whatever you eat, right, use it as a means to create a psychological link to the Lord. So anything that you eat, offer it to the Lord before you eat. Nothing should enter your mouth, whether it is food or some snacks or fruits or water or tea, coffee, whatever. Nothing should enter into your mouth unless it is offered to the Lord, right? Eat only as prasada. Then, lot of activities that we do don't need our full attention, like brushing our teeth, taking bath, cooking, going for a walk. There are so many activities that we do which doesn't need our full attention. Of course, if you are listening to a lecture or if you are reading a book, it needs full attention. But then there are several activities which don't require full attention, and all those activities, during those activities, you chant the name of the Lord mentally. You can move your lips also, you can chant loudly also if you want, but then, right, all activities which don't require your full attention, you combine with chanting of the name or mantra. So the idea is never leave the mind idle. Okay. Like if you have seen, when they are taking an elephant along the bazaar street, they will give one chain or a piece of grass or something to the trunk of the elephant, and it will keep on playing with that stick or chain as it keeps walking. Now, if you don't give that to the elephant, it'll that it cannot keep the trunk idle. It will keep grabbing things from all around the place, right? It will try to reach out for things in the shop around. It will try to reach out to the people. Like it will keep on reaching out, because that is how the trunk of the elephant is. And our mind is also like that. The mind can never be idle, right? It will keep on thinking about something or the other. So if there is nothing to engage the mind fully, we have to engage all the idle cycles of the mind with the name or mantra. The nama or mantra we have to engage, so that the mind is never left idle. And just like how you did your procedure, the spiritual practice before breakfast, do the spiritual practice before dinner, right? So before dinner also you do this, and no dinner without puja. Puja, chanting, meditation you have to do before dinner. So by this way, right, ideally, like, immediately after taking bath, you sit and do your puja, and similarly evening 6 o'clock you light the lamp and do your spiritual practice. Now if you say like, oh, I'm missing it, I'm this, that, like, then best way is to tie it to breakfast and dinner so that you will never miss it, right? And chant before going to sleep. Now once you have decided, after all your activities, once you have decided, okay, fine, now I'll go to sleep, you keep chanting, and as you keep chanting, go to sleep without your knowledge, right? So go to sleep with chanting. So wake up with chanting, and formal puja, chanting, meditation you do twice a day. If not possible twice a day, at least once a day you have to do mandatorily, right? And before eating anything, offer to the Lord and fill all the idle cycles of the mind with the nama or mantra. Now this is what is called as dhyana yoga, right? And along with this, every 2 or 3 months, you spend 2 3 days in full time sadhana. There are lot of places, spiritual institutions which run spiritual retreats, weekend spiritual retreats, very convenient, right? You attend them, so that way, right, every 1 or 2 months, you spend a full day or at least half a day for complete sadhana, right? And similarly, every year you spend 1 or 2 weeks for full time sadhana. There are so many ashramas, mathas, right? In India, where they will allow you to stay 3 days, 5 days, like for doing full time sadhana. So avail those facilities and take a spiritual retreat every year, right? So this way, whatever you do there, that will strengthen your daily practice. Sri Ram Krishna says, Vane Kone Mane. Vane means like every 2 3 like months, or every once in a year, you go for a full time spiritual sadhana, which is called Vane, in the forest. And that will strengthen you to be able to do your morning and evening spiritual practice, which is Kone, in a corner, right? In your corner in the puja room, every day, morning and evening, you do spiritual practice. That is Kone. And that will help you to keep the lamp alight throughout the day in your mind. That is Mane. So, 24 hours Namajapa, which is Mane, and in the mind. And then to strengthen that, 2 days, morning, two times, morning and evening, you do, which is Kone. And to strengthen that, you do go for a spiritual retreat now and then, which is Vane, right? Krishna also tells in the Gita, Vivikta Desham, right? And so basically, like in a secluded place, right? And uh, Vivikta, and then away from the Jana Samsadi, right? So basically, away from the din of worldly people, right? And in a secluded place, you do the spiritual practice. Vivikta Desham Arati Jana Samsadi, 13th chapter he gives, right? So this is the Dhyana Yoga, right? It is a integrated practice for the entire lifestyle. It is a lifestyle change, right? Otherwise, you cannot say, okay, 23 hours, I will do whatever I want, and just 1 hour a day, I want to sit and my mind should obey me. It will not happen, right? You have to lead a meditation conducive lifestyle for this, and start slowly, right? Start at least once a day, and then try to remember the Lord as much as possible throughout the day. But as you proceed, you have to get into this 24-hour engagement. That then you will see the, and you do this for a few years, and then you will see a huge difference happening. Okay. So now, what is the this meditation procedure? The meditation process is common for almost all traditions. There will be a lot of variations, but then there is a common thread everywhere. So the sequence is puja, chanting, pranayama. Puja. So okay, you start with puja, right? So as I told you, you light a lamp, clean the place, put some flowers, right? So start with that, and then you do loud chanting, right? And then after that, like pranayama, is basically you slowly, you breathe in deeply, slowly, and then slowly breathe out deeply. That's all is enough. And do some 2 3 times. You don't need to do more than that, right? That simple pranayama will quieten the mind a lot. So this basically, this whole thing is to quiet. The objective is to bring your mind to the current context and make it quiet. And then after that, you wish everyone well. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramaya, right? So you wish everyone well, let everyone be happy. And then you thank the people, teachers, God, for the blessings that they have given you, the opportunities they have given you in life. Like show gratitude to people, teachers, and God, and thank them. And after that, you do mental chanting. If you know some stotra, you can chant mentally. And these are all different kinds of meditation. Mental chanting, like suppose if you just um, close your eyes, and then suppose if you mentally chant a few shlokas or a chapter of the Gita which you have memorized previously, then that itself becomes a type of meditation. As I told you, it should be a purely mental activity, right? So you should have memorized it before only, so that you can mentally chant it. right? Then it becomes a type of meditation. Or Leela Dhyana is a type of meditation where, let us say, you say, today I'm going to meditate on Ramayana. So you may, in the mind, you think Dasharatha was ruling Ayodhya. He had three wives. He didn't have a child. He did Putra Kamishti Yaga. He got four children: Rama, Lakshmana, Bharata, Shatrugna. Like you start from there till Rama Patabhisheka. You can s- re- mentally you can go through the entire sequence of the the story. So you can do Ramayana. You can do different the lives of great saints. You can do all that, right? Like, and there are stotras also. For example, like there is the Ramakrishna Suprabhatam, Ramakrishna Mangalasasanam. These stotras walk through the life of Sri Ramakrishna. Like that, for every deity, you have stotras which will walk through the various activities, various, the incidents in their life, various anecdotes of saints. Like those are available, which you can use, or you can even just go through your, even if you don't use the help of any stotra, you can directly go through the sequence. That itself is a meditation, that is called Leela Dhyana. And then Manasa Puja, where you imagine the form of the deity in the center of your heart, and you can do all the puja, right? Like, so you can do a puja, right? Like you can give the gandham, pushpam, dupam, deepam, naivedyam, right? Or you can do puja with 10 items, puja with 16 items, whatever standard puja procedures you can do completely mentally to the Lord. And the mental puja is much more effective than physical puja also, right? So Manasa Puja is another very powerful and important type of meditation. And you can meditate as on Pratima or Pratika. Pratima is a humanoid form, like the form of the Lord, with hands, feet, can be several hands, that is fine, but still it is more like a human being, because we are human beings, we can emotionally relate to a human like form. So we have Pratima Dhyana, or it can be Pratika Dhyana also, like light in the center of the heart, right? A Shivalinga, Shalagrama, those are all called Pratikas, right? The Sri Chakra, right? So they're all, so it can be either on a Pratima or on a Pratika, whatever meditation is fine. And the most powerful, most effective meditation is Nama Japa, right? Whatever Nama which is given to you by your Guru, or which you have taken up, which is related to your Ishta Devata, mentally repeat the name or the mantra continuously again and again, right? So that is the Nama Japa. And the most powerful meditation is Nama Japa, right? And then after spending 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever is possible, then you again show gratitude to people, teachers, and God, right? You mentally bow down to them, thank them, and always you offer the the fruits of the entire meditation at the feet of your Ishta Devata, and then you get up. So this is the meditation process, and it is natural that the mind will wander. So whenever the mind wanders, bring it back gently and firmly, repeatedly, with no regret. Don't beat yourself. Don't say like, no, like I'm not able to focus, I'm not able to concentrate. It is okay, doesn't matter, right? The meditation process is to bring back the mind gently and firmly whenever it wanders. The mind's nature is to wander, so don't worry. Bring it back whenever it wanders. No problem. Right? So, this is the meditation process. The sixth chapter of the Gita, he describes this very clearly. Right? And in the 12th chapter, he gives an outline. So, now what are the expected outcomes? What will happen if you meditate this way? If you lead a meditation conducive lifestyle and you meditate, right? So they have to go hand in hand. So you will develop a deep love for God and living beings. Right? Love for God and love for living beings will always go together. Okay. and you will have a deeper understanding of the truth, right? Who am I? Who is God? What is this world? So you will have a deeper understanding, and you will be free from running after pleasure, and you will have reduced expectation and attachment to people, objects, and situations, and you will have greater enthusiasm and resilience in life. You will be full of energy, you will be full of enthusiasm, and when things don't work the way you want them to, you will have great resilience. You will be able to have greater capacity to feel the adversities of life. Life will have ups and downs, and you will be able to face them better by doing this meditation. And you will have reduced desire, greed, anger, jealousy, right? Kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya. So all those things will reduce, right? All these things like fear, anxiety, sorrow, confusion, all these things will start going reducing as you keep doing this meditation. Now, this is the what is the expected outcome of all this meditation. This is what Gita tells everywhere. Sa shantim adhigacchati. You will get peace. Peace means absent of all these things is called peace, right? So this is the expected outcome of meditation. So let us enter the slokas of the Gita where he describes the meditation, right? So he says, मय्येव मन आदत्स्व मयि बुद्धिं निवेशय निवसिष्यसि मय्येव अथ ऊर्ध्वं न संशयः. Right? So fix your mind on me, fix your intellect on me, then you will abide in me alone. There is no doubt about it. Right? So basically here, mayyeva mana adatsva mayi buddhim niveshaya. So manas and buddhi. So we saw in the Panchakosha Viveka, we saw, right? Manas, Manomaya Kosha and Buddhimaya Kosha. These two are the ones which are under conscious control. The others are not under our conscious control. So we use the mind and Buddhi only as the instruments, as the tools to engage with the Lord. So fix your mind on the Lord and fix your intellect on the Lord. Right? This is the way for meditation. So the full details we saw, right? The whole details. Here just an outline is given, right? Details are given in the 6th chapter, which maybe some other time we will see. And then suppose if you are not able to meditate, if you are not able to fix your mind on the Lord or fix a mind on the object of a meditation, then what do? Ata chittam samadhatum na shaknoshi mayistiram abhyasa yogena tatho mamichhaptum dhananjaya. So he says, if you are not able to fix your mind steadily on me, you can seek to reach me through chanting and japa. So by loud chanting, abhyasa yogena. So abhyasa yoga is parayana, chanting. Now, if you are not able to meditate, you chant loudly, right? Now, but then after by doing chanting, your mind will reach a state where you can meditate. Then you switch to meditation. So this is not an alternative for meditation. This is a way to handle if your mind is not able to meditate, right? If you're not able to focus, if you're not able to meditate, then you do chanting as a prerequisite or as a preparation, so that after that your mind is prepared to meditate, and then you switch to meditation. Okay, that is what is here, and for that only we have so many stotras and everything is there. Now if you are not able to do even this, right, अभ्येसेप्य समर्थोसि मत्कर्म परमो भव मदर्थमपि कर्माणि कुर्वन् सिद्धिम् अवाप्स्यसि. So if you are not able to even do chanting, right, even for that also abhyase api asamarthosi, right? So if your mind is so agitated that you are not able to do even chanting, then what do? Then matkarma paramo bhava. So you do rituals, puja and all that. So if you are able to do this, but then, right, so you do this. Now this will help you to settle, make your mind will become more calm. Then you can do chanting. Then mind will become still more calm. Then you can do meditation. That is why if you see, like what we said was puja, chanting, meditation. That is the sequence that you do. And that sequence comes from the Gita. The three shlokas of the Gita clearly says you do meditation. If you are not able to do meditation, do chanting. If you are not able to do chanting also, then do puja. So what we do is, instead of waiting for all that, we start with puja, then we do chanting, then we do meditation. So that way we can be sure that our mind is able to focus and concentrate. Right. So the procedure comes from Gita, from this. Now, so by doing this, you will be able to reach the Lord. You will be able to finally meditate, and you will be able to do materialize that goal of Mayi Avesita Chetasam. Right. So this is what Gita says. Now, suppose if you say, like, I don't have time for this, I don't have, my mind is so disturbed, I can't even do this. Then what do? Athaitadapya shaktosi kartum madyogamashritah sarva karma phalatyagam tatah kuru yatatmavan. So, if you are not able to do even puja, then the Lord says, then take refuge in me, offer the fruits of all your actions to me, and lead a self controlled life. So, yatatmavan, right? That is important. So, people may ask, oh, so can I just only do karma yoga, right? Do only karma yoga, and why should I do meditation? I will do only this. And will that result? Krishna says, your karma yoga is basically a preparation, and after that, you sit and do meditation. So, both you have to do, right? So if you are not able to do meditation, then you do karma yoga, but that is not a permanent solution. Like, it is not. So you have to eventually do both, right? So to be able to think of the Lord while you are doing work, you have to think of the Lord at least sitting and doing meditation twice a day, once or twice a day. This will give strength to that, and that will give strength to this, right? So your karma and dhyana will keep supporting each other, and these two are like the two wings of a bird, right? So karma yoga and dhyana yoga, with both of these you will be able to proceed. And karma becomes karma yoga only when there are three prerequisites. That's what is given here, right? So otherwise it is just action. It becomes karma yoga only if you take refuge in the Lord. That is, you do consider all the situations in life as gift from the Lord, and then you offer the fruits of action to the Lord, do everything for the Lord's sake, and also you lead a self-controlled life of values and austerity, right? So only when all these three are there, that action becomes karma yoga. Without these three, it cannot be considered as karma yoga. And karma yoga is a preparation for dhyana yoga. This is what Gita says, right? And to summarize the whole thing, this shloka says, Shreyo hi jnanam abhyasat jnanat dhyanam vishishyate dhyanat karma phalatyagas tyagat kshantiranantaram. So, when we do chanting, meditation, all that, so here he says that knowing the meaning is better than just chanting the words. Shreyo hi jnanam abhyasat, right? So, than abhyasa, than parayana, right? Shreyaha jnanam. Knowing the meaning is better. But then jnanat dhyanam vishishyate. So here dhyanam means like uh, ch chanting while meditating upon the meaning, right? So mental chanting while meditating upon the meaning is better than just knowing the meaning alone, right? So than just knowing the meaning of this Gita shloka, it is better to memorize the shloka also, and also know the meaning, and then you meditate upon the shloka along with the meaning. Then that becomes dhyana, right? Becomes meditation. So shreyo hi jnanam abhyasat jnanat dhyanam vishishyate, right? So this way the sequence is given: Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. So all those that can be interpreted as that, right? And then comes an instruction which is specifically for Arjuna. He says, Dhyanat karma phalatyagah tyagat kshantiranantaram, right? So better than just doing only meditation, right? You also should, like, is detachment from the fruits of action. From detachment, peace comes immediately. So if you say, can I do only meditation and not do any work at all? Krishna says, no, no. Dhyanat karma phala tyagas tyagat kshantiranantaram. So you do meditation in your puja room, and then outside the puja room, you do karma yoga. Both have to go together, hand in hand, right? So this is what is there. And this shloka also says what are the steps, what happens in spiritual life: Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana, Tyaga, and Shanti. So this is how the sequence which you will get, right? So this is about meditation, dhyana yoga. So probably we will take a small question answer break before proceeding to karma yoga. So any questions we can discuss?
நமஸ்தே சார். அப்போ
Namaste.
நம்ம மார்னிங் வந்து கண்ண திறந்து முழிக்கிறதுல இருந்து இந்த மாதிரி நம்ம ப்ராக்டிஸ் பண்ணாதான் நமக்கு மெடிடேஷனே அப்போ நல்ல ஒரு மெடிடேஷன் வரும் அப்படின்னு நீங்க சொல்றீங்களா சார்? அப்பா,
The moment you wake up, start chanting.
ஓகே சார். ஓகே.
Okay.
நான் நினைப்பேன், ஏன்னா நமக்கே மெடிடேஷன் ஒரு ப்ராப்பரா இல்ல, பண்றோம் ரெகுலரா. பட் ஆனாலும் ஐ ஃபீல் இட்ஸ் நாட் இல்ல, இன்னும் நல்லா ஏதோ சரியில்லை அப்படின்னு ஒரு ஃபீலிங் இருக்கும். பட் நம்ம மார்னிங் டே 1ல இருந்து டே எண்ட் வரைக்கும் இந்த மாதிரி நம்ம ப்ராக்டிஸ் பண்ணாதான் நம்மளோட மெடிடேஷன் அப்போ ஒரு நல்ல மெடிடேஷன் வருங்கிறது இன்னைக்கு
Yes.
நான் ஐ லேர்ன் கத்துட்டேன். தேங்க்யூ ஸோ மச் சார்.
Yes.
தேங்க்யூ.
So you have to lead a meditation conducive lifestyle. The lifestyle should be for meditation. Then the meditation will happen.
ஓகே ஓகே ஓகே. வாட் எவர் நம்ம என்ன செய்யறோமோ அதே ஒரு தியானமா ஒரு மெடிடேஷனா நம்ம அப்ப செஞ்சாதான் நமக்கு ரியல் மெடிடேஷன்ங்கிறது
Yes.
கிடைக்கிறதுக்கு சான்சஸ்.
Yes. Yes.
தேங்க்யூ சார்.
Any other questions?
நமஸ்தே சார்.
Namaste.
சார், இந்த மாதிரி மெடிடேஷன் பண்ணும்போது இந்த சொசைட்டியை விட்டு, இந்த உலகத்தை விட்டு நம்ம அலூஃபா போற மாதிரி இருக்குது. அது வந்து கரெக்டா சார்?
Okay. So I'll answer in English because there are some people who might not understand English.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
But anyway, no problem. So, see, duties you have to do. Okay.
Okay,
Now,
sir.
in our life, we have so much of free time. Okay. And
Okay.
what we do in our free time, how we spend our free time defines ourselves, right? When we have, so just because we say you have to sit and meditate, you have to do this, you have to do that, doesn't mean that you leave anything out of your duties in life. As a parent, as a child, as a student, as a citizen, as an employer, as an employee, whatever duties are there, you have to do the duties, right? So there is absolutely no cutting down of duties. Unless the duty itself falls by itself, you cannot forcibly keep away from your duties. That is not recommended by any saint. Any scripture doesn't recommend that, because it is the Lord himself who has made you the father of so and so, or mother of so and so, or child of so and so, or the Lord himself only has made you citizen of this country, right? As the employer, as an employee, whatever position in life, it has been given by the Lord. So you have to do full justice to that situation. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Because that is because Gita says, right, like swakarmana tam abhyarchya. Doing your swadharma, swakarma, is a worship of the Lord, because the Lord itself, it's the Lord who has kept you where you are. Okay. Now, along with that, you have to do this meditation. And doing this meditation, doing this japa, as I have told, this will in no way interfere with your duties. It will not interfere. In fact, by doing this, you will be able to do all your duties in a much more efficient way. You can try. You have to try
Mm.
it, right?
Okay, sir.
So you are not keeping aloof from the world, right? Because the world is Ishvara, right?
Mm.
He is the Vishwarupa Ishvara, right?
Okay, okay. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Okay, fine. So if there are no more questions, we'll continue. I think someone has. Okay, fine. We should. So, okay. So now, next few shlokas, then the starting from Adveshta Sarvabhutanam up to the end of the chapter talks about Karma Yoga. Okay. So after having covered Dhyana Yoga, Krishna starts talking about Karma Yoga. So before we go into the shlokas, let us understand what is Karma Yoga and what are the principles of Karma Yoga. Why should we do Karma Yoga? So this universe operates based on a natural law. Every decision has its consequences. As you sow, so shall you reap, and you are the maker of your destiny. There is no extraneous factor. So everything that happens in your life, every situation in your life, is because of the way you have made some decision in the past. Okay. So you get only what you deserve, right? This is the basic principle of Karma Yoga. Every decision that we make, we are responsible for the decision. And what we are now is because of the way we have decided in the past, and what we decide now is going to decide what we are going to face in the future. Okay. So what you did in the past decides what you get now. What you do now will decide what you get in the future. You get only what you deserve. Nothing is lost, right? So don't worry. Don't be anxious. Oh, what will happen for the future? Relax. There is a, the universe is there. Universe is takes care of everything. There is an order in the universe. So just work on what life brings you, right? You will get what you deserve. Don't worry, right? So a simple, like example which I remember is like, suppose you are waiting for your bag in the airport, right? When you have the baggage belt is there, where you are waiting for your bag. Now some people are there who will be very very anxious. Oh, my bag, it has not come, not come. This is not my bag, that is not my bag, where is my bag, what happened? you know like there is no reason for anxiety there, right? Just relax, your bag will come. It may come soon, it may come later, but there is 99.999% chance that your bag will come. So don't worry, relax, right? And you don't need to feel jealous. Oh, that person's bag has come, this person's bag has come, my bag only hasn't come. Why is it happening to me only? Like, these are all unnecessary, worry, unnecessary anxiety, right? The system is there, the system works. Your bag will not get lost, your bag will come, right? At the right time it will come. That's it. So if we have this understanding that nothing is lost, right? I will get what I deserve. I will get only what I deserve, not more, not less. This basic belief in nature, this basic belief that this world runs on a proper law, is the core of Karma Yoga, right? You need this basic trust in the system, trust in the law of nature, right? And when you have this trust, then you focus on giving. Okay, you give. You contribute for the welfare of the world and serve the living beings, and you will be taken care of in the long run. Right? That's what Krishna says. Ananyas chintayanto mam yejana paryupasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. He says, those who have always work for the welfare of the others to that extent that they don't even take care of their own welfare, for such people, Krishna says, I will take care of their welfare. You know, in Tamil, there's a beautiful proverb. Ooram pillaya ootti valatta tanbillai thana valarum. Right? You take care of your neighbor's children, and your children will be taken care of by the Lord. That's what it says. Right? So basically, like, you don't worry. Like, you you serve the Lord and his children in this world, and the Lord will take care of your children. That's what the proverb says, right? So basically, you focus on what you give, and the Lord will take care of you. So you give, right? And the world, the nature will try to maintain the balance, and it will give back into your life. You don't need to worry, right? Now, the goal of life is to improve yourself. Character building and gaining wisdom are the goals, right? Character building, and of course, like getting punya also. But the whole thing is, the goal is to become a better person. Become a better person today than you were yesterday. That is all that is needed. Be wiser today than you were yesterday, right? So this is the goal. Not this is what we saw even when we were discussing about the 15th chapter, right? So basically, what you carry from one life to other life, or what really matters in life, is the amount of punya, samskara, and jnana that you gain, right? So that is what is the real goal, right? And another important aspect of karma yoga is that Mahamaya has so much of control over our mind, right? We saw, right, that we are all so much controlled by the state of the body, right? So Mahamaya has got so much control over our thinking. So unless we clear our debts, the possibilities of higher life will not be opened to us by Mahamaya, right? So right from our childhood, we have been taking, right? We have been, our parents have been taken care of us. Our parents have given us food, clothing, right? And then education. So almost till we reach like 20-25 years, we have been always on a grabbing, taking only. And this is a huge investment of nature into us, right? Nature has invested so much into us to keep us alive, and to give us education, to give us health, to whatever. This, nature has invested so much, and nature will keep the balance. And unless we give back, this debt which we owe to nature will not be cleared. And unless we clear the debt, at least to some extent, nature will not open up the possibilities of higher life, higher perspectives will not be opened up. So, Karma Yoga is necessary for us to get free from the clutches of nature and think about higher perspectives of life, right? So, Karma Yoga is needed even from that point of view also. Now, how do we practice Karma Yoga, right? What is the practice of Karma Yoga? Very simple. Draw a circle around you and ensure that there is always a net outflow. Always give more than what you take, right? Nature will always try to keep the balance. So you push things out and let nature compensate that by pushing things in, right? You focus on giving, right? Serve your family, serve your profession, serve the society in whatever way. You focus on giving. Give more than you take in all dealings, right? In your office, you work more than what you get as salary. In your house, you give to your family more than what you take from them. To the country, you give more to the country than what you take from the country. everywhere you give more than what you take, right? That is Karma Yoga. Focus on giving, right? Focus on giving. That is what is meant by Karmanyevadikaraste mafaleshu kadachana, right? Focus on giving and let nature take care of maintaining the balance. Like, when we buy any vehicle, we ask for kitna deta hai? Evlo kudukum sir? What is the mileage? Right? Mileage is we want it to run more distance for less petrol. So now you ask yourself, what is my mileage? Right? What is your efficiency? Are you giving more than what you are taking? Right? If you take more than what you give, right? If you take more than what you give, in Tamil there is a very nice word for that, tendachoru they call, right? So we should not be tendachoru in this world, right? We have to give more than what we take. Every glass of water we drink, every handful of rice we eat, or every chapati that we eat, we have to deliver to this world more than what we have taken, right? We have to give more than what we have taken, and that is Karma Yoga. And the easiest to give is money, right? Time is the best thing to give, but that is very difficult to give. So at least you start with money, right? Fix a percentage of your income, right? 2% up to 15% also you can fix, right? Easily we can do, and give in charity. Give to whichever charity you want, no problem. But you should give in charity. Dana is mandatory. Without dana, your spiritual life will not start. Without giving back what you have taken from nature, Mahamaya will not open up your mind for higher thinking, right? So, your higher thinking, your understanding the scriptures, your devotion to God, everything will come only when you have given back to Mahamaya what you have taken from her in terms of food, clothing, shelter, right? Education. We have taken so much from nature, from Mahamaya. Unless we give back, Mahamaya will not even let us, progress in spiritual life. So we have to give in dana, make every possibility, every opportunity to give, use it to give, right? So by giving in charity, you will be able to progress in spiritual life. And in fact, you can say by giving in charity only, you can even start spiritual life, because Mahamaya otherwise will not open up your mind at all. So giving back is very important, and we have already taken so much. So give more than what you have taken. At every situation, give more than what you take. And do everything as an offering to the Lord. Right? Accept every situation in life as the will of the Lord, and do everything, every work, everything as an offering to the Lord. There are only two entities in this universe, you and Ishvara. No third entity. Right? Whatever you get in this world, you get it from Ishvara through that person. So your real transaction is with Ishvara only, not with anyone. These all the local people are all messengers only, right? So everything is a transaction between you and God, between you and Ishvara, in the form of this universe, right? So this is the practice of Karma Yoga, right? Give more than what you take, and serve everyone, and look at every transaction as transaction with Ishvara only, right? And start with giving in charity, right? Then first you start giving money, then start giving your time also to some social service, right? But everything that you do, even your family work, profession, everything is an offering to God only. Do everything as an offering to the Lord. This is Karma Yoga. So now let us see how Gita looks at it, right? So we will, I think there are just 10-15 minutes we have. I think we should be able to finish. We'll be able to quickly go through because all the concepts are covered. So we just need to go through the shlokas, and these are all pretty easy shlokas. So the first one, Adveshta Sarva Bhutanam Maitra Karuna Evacha Nirmamo Nirahankarah Samadukka Sukha Kshami. So this shloka tells what is the attitude of the devotee towards various things in life. And it talks about the four things in life: people, objects, situations, and ourselves. Right? There are four relationships we have in life: with people, with objects, with situations, and ourselves. And this shloka tells what should be our attitude towards all these four. So, first, let us take people. So, the shloka says we will meet three types of people, like people who consider us as competitors or enemies, and then people who are successful in life, and people who are going through tough time in life. And towards these people, we have the attitudes of what should we have? It says no hatred towards people who look upon us as competitors, adveshta, and then friendly towards people who are successful in life without any jealousy, right? Be friendly, and compassion towards people who are going through some misfortune in life, karuna, right? So adveshta, maitra, and karuna towards the people who are considering us as competitors, or who are successful and who are unfortunate in life, right? The same shloka actually comes in Patanjali Yoga Sutra also. The same point, these 3 points come, right? And then towards every situation, right, we have samadukka sukha kshami, towards every situation. And towards belongings, he says nirmama, right? Everything belongs to the Lord, so don't claim ownership. We just be only custodians. And every situation is a gift from Lord, so don't complain, right? Use every situation for spiritual development. So samadukka sukha kshami and nirahankaraha, right? So whatever we are is because of the grace of the Lord, so we have to be grateful and not proud. So this way, the four relationships which we will have in life, how we should respond to them, what attitude we should have to them, is described here. And when we go for meditation, there will be some obstacles, like we should how to overcome them, and also what is the progress that is given here. Santushta satatam yogi yatatma drida nischayah mayi arpita manobuddhi yomat bhakta same priyah. So by karma yoga, we get santushta, right? We basically get contentment. And then santushta satatam yogi, right? Yatatma. Then 5, by following meditation, we will be yatatma. We will have control over our mind and senses. And then drida nischayah. Then by jnana yoga, we will get strong conviction about the truth. So karma yoga, dhyana yoga, jnana yoga are covered. Now by doing that, Mayi arpita mano buddhihi, right? Again, we saw the mind and buddhi, right? Those are the only two things which we have conscious control. He says, give both of them, engage both of them with the Lord, right? Mayi arpita mano buddhi, which is basically like what we saw as Mayi aveshita chetasam, right? Mayi aveshita chetasam is given here as Mayi arpita mano buddhi. And mat bhakta same priyah. Such yah yo mat bhakta, right? So such a devotee is dear to me. So basically, like the Gita's way of devotion is to behave in such a way that God will love us, right? That is bhakti. Bhakti is behaving in such a way that Lord will love us. Like in fact, even the 6 characteristics of Sharanagati, right? According to the Vaishnava tradition, right? It talks about like behaving in such a way that the Lord will love us, and keeping away from things which will not be acceptable to the Lord. Like the same idea comes there also. And then yasmanno dvijate loko lokanno dvijate chayah harsha marsha bayodvegaihi yo mat bhakta same priya yah sa chame priyah. Right? So Yasmanno dvijate loko. So he is not threatened or afraid of the world. Loko na dvijate chayah. And the world also is not afraid of him. Why? Because he is not a competitor to the world. So a person, a devotee, does not have any worldly ambition or worldly goal. The world is not his goal. The Lord is his goal. So because the goal of the devotee is God, this world is not his goal, and most of the world is running behind this. Most of the people in the world are running behind the world as the goal. So he is not a threat to anyone in this world, and also he is not afraid of anyone in this world, right? Because the world is not his goal, right? Yasmano dvijate loko na dvijate chayah. Because he is not a competitor to anyone in this world, and he does not look upon anyone in this world also as a competition, because his goal is God, and God is infinite supply and very less demand. So there is no problem, right? And harsha, amarsha, bhaya, udvegaihi, right? So he is free from harsha, amarsha, bhaya, and udvega, right? So harsha is elation, amarsha is jealousy, bhaya, fear, udvega, here in this case, udvega is anxiety, right? Like jumping with anxiety. So all those things he is free from, he is mukta from all these things, right? And Krishna says, such a devotee is dear to me, right? Then अनपेक्ष सुचिर्दक्ष उदासीनो गतव्यतः सर्वारंभ परित्यागी यो मद भक्त समे प्रियः. So anapeksha, so he's free from dependence. We saw, right? Free from dependence upon this world for security, free from dependence upon this world for pleasure, right? So he is anapeksha. He is not dependent upon this world for security and pleasure. So he is anapeksha. He is suchihi. He is pure. Daksha. He is very skillful, spontaneous. Udasinah. He is unconcerned, and gatavyatah, untroubled. And sarvarambha parityagi. He is free from any selfish ventures. No hidden agenda. He is completely surrendered to the Lord. Right? So such a person, these are all basically like what will the characteristics of a devotee. What will happen once you become a devotee, right? What will happen to you? What will be your characteristics is given here. These we use to evaluate ourselves, not to evaluate others, to evaluate ourselves, right? And then Yona Harshit. Now he comes to dvandvas, dualities. A devotee is free from dualities. Now that he starts describing here. Yona harshati na dveshti, na shochati na kankshati, shubha shubha parityagi, bhaktiman yas same priyaha. So a devotee like neither rejoices nor hates, right? He is not carried away by joy also. He is not carried away by sorrow also. He doesn't, and na shochati na kankshati, right? He's not worried, and he doesn't desire, right? He's free from this worries and desires. Shubha shubha parityagi, no auspicious and inauspicious things in his life. Like he doesn't worry about, he's free from all this formal rules of auspiciousness and inauspiciousness, right? He sees God everywhere. It is God alone who has become this entire universe. So what is there to be auspicious or inauspicious, right? So he goes beyond all the rules and regulations and procedures and rituals, right? So such a devotee, bhaktiman yah sa me priyah, he is dear to me. And samashatrau cha mitre cha tatha manapamanayoho shitoshna sukha dukkeshu samasanga vivarjitah, right? So sama shatrau cha mitre cha, he is equal to all people, people who consider him as enemy or people who consider him as friend. He is equal, he has equal mind towards all the people. Tatha manapa manayoho. So some people might praise, some people might blame, right? He is equal to all that. He is not moved by praises and blames. Shita ushna, right? So heat, cold and heat, sukha and dukkha, pleasure and pain, and right, dukesu sama sangha and vivarjita. So union and separation, right? He is free from all these dualities, and it continues. Tulya Ninda Stutir Mauni, right? So people who praise him or people who scold him, right? Tulya Ninda and Stuti, right? He is he considers both of them as equal, right? And Mauni, he is ever silent. And Santushta Ena Kenachit, he is contented with whatever comes, right? Whatever is he gets, he is satisfied with that. Santushto Ena Kenachit. Aniketah, he is not attached to any particular place, right? Aniketah, Stiramatihi. So he is even minded, steady minded. Bhaktiman me priyo naraha, right? Such a person is dear to me. So Krishna basically describes the characteristics of a devotee. And these are sadhanas for us. Like we can use these as that we should follow all these things. So like this, in 7 shlokas, right, starting from the Adveshta Sarva Bhutanam up to this, he describes the Bhakta Lakshana, right? What is the characteristics of a devotee? By this, we can consider ourselves, we can evaluate ourselves and ensure that we align to these values that he is describing here. And after all these things, he gives the conclusion. Yetu dharmyamritamidam yathoktam paryupasate shraddadhana matparama bhaktaste tivame priyaha. So, yetu dharmyam amritam. So, this is the amritam dharma, the eternal dharma, also called sanatana dharma. Right? Hinduism is called sanatana dharma, the eternal dharma. Here he uses the same word, dharmyamritam, right? And whatever is described here, yatoktam, right? As I have told here, as has been told here, idam, right? Yetu dharmyamritam idam yatoktam paryupasate, one who follows. Shraddha dhana, right? So, with faith, mat parama, with the Lord as the goal, right? So, with the Lord as the goal, mat parama, shraddha dhana, with faith, yatoktam, as has been told here, amritam dharma, right? Paryupasate, one who follows. Such a person, bhaktaha te ativa me priyaha. They are very, very devoted to me, exceedingly devotee. Ativa me priyaha, he says. They are exceedingly devoted to me, right? So that way, like what is Sanatana Dharma is also defined in this 12th chapter. So if someone says, what is Sanatana Dharma? Krishna says, this is what is Sanatana Dharma. This entire 12th chapter is the description of how to lead a life according to Hinduism, according to Sanatana Dharma. Krishna himself uses the word Dharmyamritamidam, right? So then every every chapter of the Gita ends with this colophon. Om Tatsat iti Srimad Bhagavad Gita su Upanishadsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishnarjuna Samvade Bhakti Yogo Nama Dvadasho Dhyayah. Right? Om Tatsat. God alone exists, right? That is what is mean by Om Tat Sat. Om Tat Sat means God alone exists, right? Iti, thus, Srimad Bhagavad Gita su, in the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Upanishadsu, which is equivalent to the Upanishad, Brahma Vidyayam, right? So, which gives the theory of Brahma Vidya, Yoga Shastre, which also gives the practice. So, Brahma Vidya means theory part, Yoga Shastra means practical aspects. So, Gita gives both theory and practice. So, it is called Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre, right? And it is presented as a dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna, Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade and Bhakti Yogo Nama, right? So, it is in this chapter is called Bhakti Yoga and Dvadasho Dhyaya. This is the 12th chapter, right? So, this is the Gita, 12th chapter, right? And what we saw, so basically, Arjuna's question, Krishna's answer, then Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, Karma Yoga. So, these are all covered very systematically in this chapter. And this chapter gives the practical aspects of Gita. So, 15th chapter gives the theoretical aspects, and the 12th chapter gives the practical aspects. So, any questions we can discuss? So, these 2 chapters, it is good to chant every day, memorize, and know the word by word meaning. And the entire gist of the entire Gita is covered in these 2 chapters. So, anyone who has any questions, we can discuss.
Namaste, sir. Can you please send
Yes.
the voice message? Can you send the Gita chanting for 12th chapter and 15th chapter as voice message in our group, sir?
Okay. Let me see. We can. I will record and send.
Thank you, sir.
Any questions? Okay. So if everything is clear, good, fine. So we will chant Priyatam and we will end. Om Priyatam Pundarikakshaha Sarvayajneshwaro Harihi Tasmin Stushte Jagat Tushtam Prinite Prinitam Jagat Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Rama Krishna Arpanamastu Jai Ram Krishna Jai Ram Krishna